my favorite songs are slow and sad. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Welcome to the Sad Song Queens podcast, where we dive deep into the songs that make us cry. I'm Laura Webb.
And I'm Lindsay Wolfington.
Welcome back to the Sad Song Queens. We are with Christina Perri again for week 2. And in this week's episode, we're going to talk about Jar of Hearts and 1,000 Years and her favorite sad songs. So let's dive in, and I hope you enjoy.
So grab those tissues and let's get into it, because we all need a good cry. Can we talk about Jar of Hearts for a second?
Sure.
Because you also kind of alluded to, when did you pick up a guitar and start making music?
So I was 15, and what I love to say is, especially in the sad song angle, I, around 13, was exposed to the Beatles. And what's funny is even saying that
13
because,
feels late.
yeah, it's pretty late. Yeah. I mean, I definitely was probably listening to Little Kim, Mariah Carey. You know, this is the late 90s.
Okay.
So I was born in 86.
Okay.
I was 13, I remember, and I got from my cool aunt. Everyone has like a cool aunt or a cool uncle. I had a very cool aunt.
That's you, Laura.
Oh, so I had this cool aunt that gave me a CD, and it was Revolver of the Beatles.
Okay.
And so I remember taking it. This is going to age me so bad. I remember taking it to my local music store, and I said to the guy, it was Pat's Music, and like it's a guy named Pat, and I was like, hey, do you have more of these Beatles? I mean, this is pre-internet, you know.
What are these Beatles people?
I was like, yeah, is there more of this? You know, and he was like, whoa. He literally took it from me and was like, you cannot start with Revolver. And I was like, what does that mean?
But you had listened to it already.
I did. And he was like, no. And he took it from me, and he gives me like with the Beatles, and he's like, we're going to start you from the beginning.
Okay.
Like he became like my Beatles sensei.
I'm picturing Jack Black and High Fidelity.
Yeah, literally that. Literally, it was that. And I was like babysitting for $20 on the weekend, and I would come in with my $20 every week and get a new Beatles album or CD.
amazing.
And he was like, you know, because it was towards the end of that. And so I fell so madly in love with the Beatles, and I studied them. So I didn't pick up a guitar and write a song until 15, but from 13 to 15, I was
You're
like
in
writing
the
poetry.
School
The school of
the
Beatles. I was studying them. I was listening to them nonstop. I like changed my entire persona. I was like wearing tie-dye. I had like long hair and like braids.
Round glasses?
No, I didn't wear round glasses.
Okay.
I do now. I had like Birkenstocks. I had a corduroy school bag. I wore this tie-dye t-shirt under my school uniform. Like, John Lennon like changed my life, you know, and all of them. But like as far as songs go, you know, you have happy Beatles songs, but they were not my favorite. I mean, it was always the sad, slow songs that were always my favorite since I was teeny tiny. And so
us too.
Yeah, of course. That's why we're here. So I always say sad songs are my love language. Like 100%. So I wrote a song when I was 15. I had just fallen in love, and then he cheated on me. And so I wrote 2 songs back to back. One called The Perfect Man for Me, which was my first true love, and then Tragedy. And I was like,
I love it. Oh my God.
And then what's funny is nothing ever changed. Like from that moment on, that is exactly how I wrote music for the rest of my career.
Yeah, you got Jar of Hearts and 1,000 Years.
Yeah, exactly,
right.
exactly. And so I started writing music, and I didn't stop. It was like from 15 to 23, I wrote a bajillion songs that no one ever heard. This was also the time of MySpace.
Mm-hmm.
So I had like 3 songs on MySpace that, you know, no one listened to. Then I had like songs I would put up on YouTube of covers. So I wasn't really playing originals. I would just do covers.
You and Marie Digby.
Sure, yeah.
Right?
Well, what's funny is like no one really watched my videos. So people are like, oh, you're like a YouTube. And I'm like, no, that wasn't how I got in either. I had one viewer as my best friend, Kelty. Like,
Kelty. We love
Kelty,
her.
We love her. So she's still my number 1 fan and best friend. But anyway, so I ended up getting discovered at 23. But I had written Jar of Hearts. It was December 29th, 2009. So going into 2010, I remember it was the end of the year. I was at my mom and dad's house. I had already moved to LA to like chase a dream.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to be a songwriter. I didn't really want to be the performer. I was very shy. I didn't play shows. I didn't go on tour.
So 4 of you.
Thank you. Thank you for seeing me. It's exactly right. So I heard that like writing songs for other people was a job. And that, like you had to go to California to do that.
Right.
So like I did
Where are you from?
Philadelphia.
Okay.
So I moved across the country on my 21st birthday with my big dream and my guitar. And like I had been like, you know, the little emo songwriter who would go to a coffee shop but like be too scared to get up and sing, but was in that sort of community. My friends were musicians, you know. I would like sing at parties, but like kind of hated it, but whatever. So I did not come to LA with like, I'm going to be the star, like singing in my hairbrush. It was very much, oh, I want to write songs for other people. So I had a bunch of songs that I had written, but showed no one except this best friend, Kelty. So Kelty's really the fairy godmother of my whole story because she's the one that like made me sing on YouTube while she was dancing. She was a Radio City Rockette.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And when she was off duty, not Christmas time, she had a breakup and like moved all her furniture and made me sing in the corner of her living room. And she recorded it on a little point and shoot camera and she put it up on YouTube. And like a guy that she had dated, his guitar player in North Carolina was working for Tom Gates.
Okay.
But like as an intern, and Tom Gates was like, find me someone on the internet that no one knows about, but that should. And Kelty posted this or tweeted, this is all brand new of all that stuff.
Yeah, right.
Kelty had tweeted the video of her dancing with me in the corner. And I was playing an original song. So when this guy, Alex, saw this video, he was like, oh, yeah. Because Kelty had posted me before. And like he just happened to follow her because she hooked up with his singer of his band. Like, what?
It's so
What?
funny.
It's like a movie.
Yeah.
So one day I might make it a movie.
That'd be fun.
So anyway, long story long, Alex sent my video to Tom Gates. My favorite artist at the time was Jason Mraz. So I went from Beatles, Counting Crows to Jason Mraz. And Jason Mraz is where I stayed for a very long time. I mean, I'm still like his biggest fan. Halfway Home is my favorite song that he does. It's the saddest one, of course. And Tom at the time was managing Jason Mraz. And he wrote an email like, hey, I manage Jason Mraz. Do you have a manager? Who are you? And I was like, ah. So like all my dreams started to come true in 2010. But Jar of Hearts was in my pocket. So I'd written it at home on guitar. The guy that I had dated.
We had to ask. Yeah, we have
the
to.
guy that I had dated that was
to.
amazing and then cheated on me. We were on and off for 7 years. So he was like my epic
From
love.
when you were 15?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, from 15 to 21.
Wow.
Or 6 years. So from 15 to 21, we dated on and off, and it was like tumultuous and the best thing ever.
Sounded like
so
it from the
grateful for
song.
him. He's like, oh, thank you. you know? But at the time, it was like crazy dramatic. And I had moved to LA when I was 21, and we broke up again for the 100th time. And he was the type of guy, like hometown guy, that like would ask when I was around. Like the lyrics of Jar of Hearts were literally what happened to me on the day before I wrote this song. So it was probably December 28th. I get a call. My mom's like, oh, I heard from so-and-so. He's looking for you. He heard you're here. Like, I'm like, Mom, you told him I was here. Like, everyone's talking at church. Like they all know I'm in town or like whatever, the local bar. Like, it's just like, that's the small town in Philadelphia that we lived.
Sure.
Like, and so he hit me up and I was like, but it was different this time. And I remember saying this to people who really get the song. It was, one day you're actually over someone and like you don't get to know when that day is, but you know when it happens because you say no and you mean it. So for a while you have to fake your no. If like you're in a cycle or a pattern where you always go back and then you have to like, absolutely not. And then that's hard and you're like white knuckling that. And then one day you're, you just say no and you mean it. And you're like, oh, dang, I made it. You're just out. And so for me, it was that day. I was like, he came looking for me and hitting me up, asking my friends, whatever. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah, and I think they'll keep trying as long as you keep,
Right,
like,
of course.
So you were like, who do you think you are? We're over this.
Literally, yes. I wrote that chorus. That chorus is
Amazing.
exactly the same. I did rewrite some of the verses and the pre with the guys that I made the song with because at the time it was on guitar. It was called Jar Full of Hearts.
Okay.
I have a YouTube video because I actually had it up on YouTube. Like I made a version of it, and I'm wearing this like big fairy hat, and so I played Jar Full of Hearts, collecting a jar full of hearts. Like I kept the full in there. At some point I cut it,
Right.
But then I remember, so cut to a couple months later when Kelty did this video, and then Tom Gates is like, do you have any songs? And I was like, oh, well, I have a couple that I think are kind of okay. And so Jar of Hearts became the one I thought was maybe the best. I didn't know it was going to change my life forever, but I was like, this one I really like. And so when he was like, okay, I'm going to put you in the studio to like work with, to make a demo. It was like, because you have nothing. You're a waitress. Like, who are you? And I was like, no one.
Where did you waitress at?
I waitressed at Chocolat, which is now.
Oh.
Do you remember?
In the
on
Valley?
Melrose? No, on Melrose. It was
Okay.
across from the Improv. That owner of Chocolat, I moved around a little bit but he ended up calling me back and was like, hey, I just opened a cafe on Melrose Place. So like the tiny Melrose.
Yes.
And it was the corner of Melrose Place where I was working when Jar of Hearts
You
happened.
are a TV show
I know, you really are.
I know. I
It's
literally
like
was
Melrose
like
Place
Melrose Place.
meets-
Yep.
yep.
And I was like playing to all my patrons. I was like,
Singer-songwriters.
listen to this song I did. And this guy, Jonathan, was the art gallery owner, like down the street. And I fed him every day. Like I would deliver his lunch to him.
Oh, yeah.
And I on an iPod, I had like a tiny iPod, and I was like, listen to this song I made. It's called Jar of Hearts. It sounds really good. Like I've never heard myself sing 3-part harmony with myself. I'd never made music before.
Sure.
So the demo of Jar of Hearts, by the way, is still the one everyone hears. I never redid that. That was the demo.
Because that got placed in So You Think You Can Dance?
Yes. And then every single person on earth tried to get me to redo it with drums, with other
you don't need
instruments,
to redo it.
faster,
Totally.
better mix, better master. And I was like, you guys, it's magic. The song is magic. We're not touching it. Like it's already out. Like too late, you know?
Yeah.
So that exact version, I remember showing Jonathan on an iPod, and he cried. He was like sitting at my cafe, and I was like, you know, was the barista. Like I was making him a cappuccino, and he just was crying. He was like, this song's going to change your life.
Oh.
I was like, you think? I was like, I don't know.
think
Like, I don't.
so.
I thought I was going to give it to someone else. Like, I didn't even really want to sing it, but then it just became like
It's yours.
it's
yeah.
so
The performance is part of it.
Yeah.
Part of its
yeah.
strength, too.
Yeah.
It's so fun. I remember being in Cape Cod, which is where I go for a couple weeks every summer. That's where I grew up spending my summers. And I remember it kind of happening and you getting signed to an Atlantic being interested like immediately.
Yes.
And I don't know if it was like a producer was like, have you heard of this girl, Christina Perri? Like, got to check out this song. And I heard the song and I was like, oh, yeah, like this song is like Sync Gold. It's like, that's an amazing track. Like,
Yeah, thank you.
but it's so weird. For me, I was like, oh, yeah, duh.
Yeah,
I
Raina.
hadn't heard it. I wasn't the person who placed it. I hadn't heard it before it was
Sure.
placed. It made perfect sense that it would be in this amazing
Well,
dance
it was
sequence,
Kelty's
right?
fault that it got
Okay,
placed.
great.
Listen to this. This is even crazier.
Is she
Also,
the
why?
choreographer?
No, Stacy Tukey was
Okay.
the choreographer
Okay.
of like the contemporary dance. And Stacy and Kelty grew up together in a small town in Canada. And Stacy's mom was Kelty's dance teacher.
Stacey's mom, you
Yeah.
are like
This
a
is a movie.
TV
Yeah,
show.
I know.
Yeah.
So Stacy Tukey's mom was Kelty's dance teacher since kindergarten, literally.
Wow,
and
okay.
Kelty made it as a big dancer. I mean, she
Yeah,
was the Radio
yeah.
City Rockette. Now she's the host of E! News.
Amazing.
Just so you guys know.
Oh.
Kelty ended up making
Yeah,
it
what's
real
Kelty's
big.
last name?
Kelty Knight.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, she's been my best friend since I was 15.
Aw.
So anyway, but her Jar of Hearts, because she was the only person I played it for in my little Mini Cooper. I had a white Mini Cooper, and we were on Beechwood, and I was like in the car with her, and I was like, you have to hear this. I've never sounded so cool my whole life. So I play her the song in the car. She's like hysterical because she was my only fan. She was the only person who listened to my songs. She's the only person who watched my YouTubes. She was like telling me all the time, you should do this. And I was like, no, I'm a waitress, I don't have time or whatever. And so I played it for Kelty, and she freaked out, and she's like, can you email it to me? And I was like, no, like
Yeah.
I can't. She was like, no, come on, I
You're
won't
like, I
show
don't know
anyone.
how. I'm
Yeah,
just kidding.
I was like, I won't. She said, I won't show anyone, and I was like, okay. She immediately emailed it to Stacy Tukey. This was June, maybe like June 25th of 2010.
Yes, this
And
lines up perfectly.
she said, maybe one day, like I have the email, maybe one day you can play this song on your show because this is like your thing, like these songs. And Stacy freaked out and said, how about Wednesday? And that was June 30th, 8 p.m., 2010. My whole life changed. It was a minute and a half. They played it in the show. Me and Kelty were in the audience.
Oh, wow.
And like, I was still a waitress. I owned it. It was
Yeah.
Perry Lane Records. I didn't even have a record deal. I didn't have a record company. I barely had managers. Tom and Ryan were like courting me. I didn't have anything, a website or, like nothing. I didn't
Yeah.
exist as an artist. And then at that night, it went number one on iTunes.
Was it released?
Yeah,
Like you
we
had the
released it.
wherewithal to release it.
Yes. So
in 4
Ryan
days.
Chisholm. Yes,
Yeah,
Ryan
thank God.
Chisholm. He was friends with this
Yes.
guy named Jordan at iTunes, and Jordan put it out because like it
Thanks,
took back then. It
Jordan.
took a long time.
Oh, yeah.
So we only had 5 days. So we
Yeah.
had 5 days from knowing it was going to happen to putting it on iTunes, and he did Ryan a favor. And what's so amazing, and this is such like a movie part also, is
Yeah.
that when it happened, when Jar played on So I Think You Could Dance, it was 5 p.m. in LA, and Jordan had just left the office in San Francisco, the iTunes office, and he was in charge of the brick. Do you remember the big brick
Yeah.
that used to change?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the
Oh,
old
right.
iTunes sort
Yeah.
of main page.
Yeah.
And so Ryan called him freaking out, like, it's number 36, it's number 26, it's number 15, it's number 6. Like he called Jordan to tell him that Jar of Hearts like exploded. And Jordan turned around like on the Golden Gate Bridge and like went back to the office
To make it the
and
brick.
put it on the brick. And that like so many of these little things like I always tried to
Lots
imagine
of
like
angels.
You
yeah,
did.
it was
You
like
did.
too many things to pinpoint. Like it wasn't one thing; it was all the little things. I think
Right.
that
Yeah.
came together to make this moment like lightning in a bottle, and that's what happened.
I love that.
So that sync wasn't even like intentional; it was an accidental sync.
It's
It
so
was
interesting
pushing you
'cause-
into it. Like,
Yeah.
clearly.
It changed my life. By midnight that night, I had quit my job because I was like, I got to fly to New York tomorrow. Like I didn't actually quit. I covered all my shifts
Right,
until,
yeah.
and I thanked, that owner in my first album. But anyway, I flew to New York City the next day. And I will tell you also a fun fact that Benny Blanco's mom is the reason why Atlantic got first dibs on me. So Benny Blanco's mom was watching So You Think You Can Dance.
Oh my God,
When
love
it
it.
happened, she called Benny and was like, "Oh my God, this song." And Benny was best friends with Andrew Luffman, who worked at Atlantic, who was partners or like working with Pete Gambarg, who was head of A&R. And so Pete, through Andrew, through Benny's mom, heard the song that night and said, we want this girl. Like literally, I was independent, whatever.
Yeah.
And so they were the first people to call Tom Gates because of Benny Blanco's mom.
Oh, have you
Wow.
met Benny Blanco's mom?
No, but
then?
I've thanked her on the
Okay,
phone.
good.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
toured with Ed Sheeran
yeah.
and he was there every day. And I was like, I need to speak to your mom. I was like, I need to thank her. So
Yeah.
it was a very
Okay,
full
good.
circle.
Yeah.
moment.
Stacy's mom,
Benny's
mom.
mom.
I know.
Yeah,
How
it feels very
funny.
kismet.
And
the
now
whole
the
thing.
album about motherhood, there's a theme in your life.
I know.
No, and it's so interesting because we thought at first maybe we would do Jar of Hearts because
Yeah.
it is sad.
Sure.
Yeah. And then we just kept talking about it because I was like, oh, Evergone. And it just feels
Yeah.
like also what's in your life currently, what we're
Sure,
resonating
sure,
with
sure.
too.
Of course.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Jar of Hearts is more the angst.
Yeah.
So it didn't necessarily bring tears, but like we couldn't really help it with Evergone.
I know.
Yeah.
It just
Well,
like
thank
got you.
And so we were like, nope, let's pivot. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Well, thank you. Because, that
Yeah.
is more current me.
Yeah.
Like blonde haired mom version
Yeah.
of me. I do love, like I said, I love
Yeah.
23-year-old
As you
version of
should.
me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
she was
her-
really cool.
Yeah, if it weren't for Jar of Hearts, I like to think I wouldn't be here. Like it was all
Yeah.
so meant to be. I loved being the Jar of Hearts girl. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like that, like
Yeah.
coming out of, obscurity and like loving my sound, like wearing combat boots, not like trying to be anyone else. I fought every radio station nicely and because they didn't want to play it without drums. And then Tom Gates and everyone at Atlantic like really felt like, they won because like it slowly did it, but it was one of the first songs in the 2010s. Like this is before Adele's Someone Like You. Jar of Hearts
Right.
came out earlier in that year. And it was real slow, but it was slow and steady and it just had its like rise and people played it anyway and it broke a lot of rules and it was just
Good.
like it was apparently a moment that resonated with a lot of people that like now I see all the funny TikToks about nostalgic artists and like they're all the kids that were like, oh my God, when I was 10 and I was alone in my room and I was singing Jar of Hearts and like
You're
I
like-
never even had been in love and I'm like, oh my God, that was me singing Mariah Carey, My All, and I
Yeah.
like literally had never been in love and I was crying over a love I never had. I was like,
Totally.
wow, full circle.
Amazing. Is Kelty in the music video? She one of the
Yes.
dancers?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
she the one who kind of looks like you? There's a dancer who you're like, is that Christina dancing? And then you're on camera.
I mean,
Okay.
maybe she.
I have to rewatch.
Yeah, she's the one. She's got blonde hair, but
Okay.
back then I didn't have blonde hair.
Well, but you had
the blonde
okay.
streak.
But whatever.
So
maybe
Alison
it looked like
Hockler
you
was
now.
in it. It's Alison Hockler. It's Kelty Knight. Back then she was Kelty Colleen. All the So You Think You Can Dance dancers
Okay.
were in it, and then it was Catherine McCormick, who's the person who danced with it on the TV
Oh,
show.
cool.
So it was such a nod to the show.
The
Like I
use, yeah.
needed
So
like,
smart.
but also I was like forever grateful for
Yeah,
this.
of
Like
course.
Yeah.
vehicle that changed my life. And I even went on the show the week after, and Kat Deely had this like whole intro and was like, "We've just changed this girl's whole life. Just
a
a
good
week ago,
impersonation.
she was a waitress." Like I'll never forget because I was actually sitting at the piano, like listening to the intro,
You're like,
and I'd never
and then
done
you
this before.
played?
And then I played it on the TV show.
I mean,
wow.
you just
way
got
to
like,
capture
whew.
a whole
Yeah.
cultural
Yeah.
moment
it really
for the
was.
show
Yeah.
too to make room for
And
that.
honestly, that wasn't really happening that much. Like this was
No.
like maybe Grey's Anatomy was having
Yeah.
a ton of syncs that
Yeah.
were like
But the bands
having
were
moments.
signed.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly.
that's a
Yeah.
lightning in a bottle and a And to just think that they acted on it with
broken
that quick
artists.
and that
Yeah.
quickly.
the whole thing, the picking
right.
the song within 5 days would stress us out.
Sure.
I know.
The choreographer picking a song that we didn't give them would stress us out. We'd
Yep.
probably be like, oh my God, thank God she's indie. Hopefully she responds to her emails.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Right, totally.
Yeah, it wasn't hard to get it on there, I'm sure, but it was, everything was so special.
And then
honestly.
I was listening to the Squeeze podcast that you did
Oh, yeah.
with the Lautners. And
I love them.
and you were talking about then how when you signed, you're like, I want to be on the Twilight soundtrack.
Yeah.
And then how that all happened.
It's crazy. I really manifested that. I'm a little bit witchy, I think. It's like, it's too creepy how like specific I was. Because when Jar of Hearts happened, Kelty and I had written a letter to the universe that exact time. I think it was like right after I'd written Jar of Hearts. So it was before January came and we were calling 2010 the 10. She made me get a pen and paper. It was actually all her that got me into this. And she made me write down the 10, like the best year of our lives. And then she said, like, so she wrote down 5 things that she wanted to happen in 2010. And I mean, I wrote it down. She made me write it down. So I wrote Kelty. And I was like, eye rolling. I was like, are you seriously? And she was in New York at the time. So we were on the phone.
Oh my God.
And I was in my parents' house in Philly. And she wrote like, quit Diet Coke, which by the way, she still hasn't. But she's tried every year since. It's quit Diet Coke, get great bangs. I mean, what's funny now is like if she knew we had a direct line to the universe in that moment, that she's like, I
would
should have
aimed
asked
a little higher.
for more.
Yes.
Yeah, so she was like,
Yeah.
quit dating like shitty guys. I think was one of hers.
That's a good one.
I think one was write a book, which she ended up doing, and then her last one was send Christina magic motivational moonbeams. I still remember the quote because then
Wow.
at the bottom of mine was bask in Kelty's magic motivational moonbeams. But mine also said, quit smoking. I smoked cigarettes at the time. Save $20 a week savings account. I had no savings.
I think you probably achieved that.
I did that. And then it was play 3 shows, which is like, to me was huge. And
Right.
all 3 of my first shows ever were on TV. It was the CBS
That's
Morning
insane.
Show. So You Think You Could Dance, and then Jay Leno. So my
You're
first
like,
3
I'm
shows.
hoping I'll do an open mic.
Yeah.
But
And then wait, my 4th one was Meet Jason Mraz.
Aw.
Which at the time, I mean, this is before Tom Gates hit me up. Like,
Right.
so I didn't know I was about to meet Jason Mraz's manager.
Yeah.
So, and then it was Baskin Kelty's Moonbeams. So
Wow.
like we like really tapped into something. And then all those things had happened by June of
That's crazy.
that year.
Wow.
Then that next year I wrote Be on the Breaking Dawn soundtrack in all capital letters. I still have them
Which
every
was
year.
the sequel? The second Twilight or the first?
Breaking
Twilight?
Dawn, it's the 4th book, the
Okay.
4th and 5th book.
Okay.
And the 4th and 5th movie. So Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse had all happened already, and the
Okay.
soundtracks were massive and they were cool.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they were a moment. They were a cultural thing.
Very.
So
Totally.
I remember when I signed with Atlantic, I was so excited about them being on the walls more than
Which you
like,
had bought the posters, I heard.
I had them framed, the book
Which is
covers
so
framed on my
funny.
wall. And and I wrote Have It Sung on the Breaking Dawn soundtrack in all capital letters. And not only did that happen, but it
It's
continues
the biggest
to
song
be-
from Twilight, isn't it?
It is. It's
yeah.
the swan song. It was the last 7 minutes of the final film. So they went back to me and said, can you make it 7 minutes for the curtain call? So then I added some verses, some orchestra. We made it like, so Breaking Dawn Part 2 has another version of 1,000 Years, but it then became the biggest wedding song of that whole decade. It still is in the top 5 wedding
Yeah.
songs of all time. Like now,
And I also think it re-listening and with this guy's like it also could be for funerals. And
it is. It's
Yeah,
for
I was going to
funerals,
ask.
babies, old
everything.
people, anniversaries. It's one of those universal songs that like I definitely didn't write it universally. I wrote it for Edward Cullen, like
Sure.
and Bella. Like I wrote
Yeah.
it for their wedding. Like Ryan O'Neal got the wedding song.
I know.
Oh,
Isn't that
right.
crazy? And
Yeah.
I was
But
listening.
and his was originally called 100 Years.
Oh my gosh.
And he changed it to Turning Page because he was, I mean, we're such good friends, him and David Hodges. And he was like, and this is very 9 of him. He's like,
It
no, I'll
is.
change mine.
Yeah,
You know?
I know.
'Cause we were like, oh, ours is 1,000 years. And he was like, oh, I'll change mine. It's fine.
And I actually loved what you said and how grateful you were even for the experience. Because like we hate being like, I'm sorry it didn't work or it didn't make it.
No.
And so hearing that,
Yeah.
like it's lovely to hear that because
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I will say, so it was the second credits. So when they had me write
Wait,
the
it's not
song-
even in a scene?
No.
No.
It's a Mandela effect. Everyone thinks it's the wedding song, which poor
Yeah.
Brian, I always say, I'm so
Right.
sorry.
Yeah.
Because half of the time.
And Ryan's Sleeping at Last music is stunning and beautiful.
The best.
We love it.
The absolute best. I've seen him every time he's ever come to town.
Yeah.
I'm the biggest fan of his. I
Yeah.
know every song.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so he got the wedding, which is fine. But I
Yeah.
originally, and as music supervisors, you guys, I'm sure can even hear it. Like it's a waltz. Like I wrote that for the
Which
wedding.
is so
Right.
smart because we are always needing wedding songs, by the way.
Okay.
So
And
if you want to
slow
make
dance
some
songs,
more.
Right.
like that
So I
Because
tempo.
with
did
the
that.
sway, we always need those. Just
I even wrote down
So
notes
smart.
while I was watching the movie because they said to me, we really want you to write the wedding song. And I was like, great. So when I went with David back to his house from the screening, I had the book open to the wedding. I was like, okay, we're like like I was so specific. And then I got the call that it was on the soundtrack, which to me was the win.
Right.
Yeah.
But my manager goes, and I was like, no, but I wanted to be on the soundtrack. What do you mean? And he's like, well, it's the second credit song because Bruno Mars is going to be their first single. So originally, I guess I was going to be the credit, and then I bumped to the second. I didn't really fully understand, like most people aren't
What
in the
that
theater
meant.
that
Yeah,
long.
right.
Yeah.
Because also the fans do stay the whole time, which is what happened. But I didn't even think twice. I was like, this is still the greatest experience of my life. This is what I asked the universe for. This is what I dreamed of. Great. Like I was
Yeah.
not bummed. And like if I had been like, no, you can't have it. Can you imagine?
I
Like
mean,
my life would
it's
not. I
happened.
wouldn't be here.
It's
Yeah,
happened.
exactly.
Yeah.
For us
And
on
I
our
was like,
side.
right, because my managers were bummed. I wasn't.
Yeah.
And then I always say when I tell this story that I think being grateful for gave it some little magic.
sauce.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because then when It Will Rain came off the radio, the fans were like, no, this is our jam. She's a twihard. She's our people. We want this
They
song.
could
Like
feel
the
it.
fans, it became like the most listened to or most popular. Or I don't know how the you know,
I was like, couldn't tell you what the Bruno Mars song was.
No.
because he wasn't a twihard. I mean, love
Yeah.
Bruno. Love him. But,
Right.
like,
and the
fans
label is thinking
know.
we got to put the name
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
the
of course,
single.
which it did work for a while. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a good song for him, but it wasn't their swan song. So the
Right.
fans picked 1,000 Years. It was not
Right.
had nothing to do with me at the end of the day. It was like they knew I wrote it for Edward and Bella. They felt it. They believed me, and then they were like, "This
Well,
is
you
ours."
believed it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then it became the last 7 minutes of the final film, which was
Crazy.
like the best
Right.
placement you can
Yeah.
have.
Right.
And then it just has not stopped. I mean, I've literally made it a kid's book. I've made it,
It's amazing.
a lullaby. I've made it all the things.
And random fun fact, because I didn't know that you love Jason Mraz, but so I work on Virgin River, and the season 1 Virgin River, there's the main 2 characters finally like kiss.
Okay.
And my showrunner was like, I love I Won't Give Up.
Oh, I love that song.
And we decided the show had a very particular sound that was much more acoustic. So I was like, let's make a cover of it. And then my showrunner was like, it's either this or 1,000 Years. So in my head, like my showrunner's taste is 1,000 Years and I Won't Give Up. And it's you and Jason Mraz. So
I
it's
know.
so funny to hear.
Well, I ended
that,
up
like, you
doing a
loved-
duet with him and touring with him. Like, talk about fulfilling like some crazy destiny. Like, I was his biggest fan. I wrote him letters when I was 17. One day, like, I want to sing with you. And then literally he sings a duet with me on my album. And we toured together for an entire summer and our friends. And I was like, this
Oh,
is
it's so
not
fun.
like all my dreams came true
Yeah.
in that decade. But I didn't have dreams like Grammys. Like I
Yeah.
had dreams like be on the Breaking Dawn soundtrack, work for Disneyland,
Yeah.
meet Jason Wright, like all those things like really happened. Did have a song in Disneyland. So that
Oh,
happened. I
very
had
cool.
it was in their nighttime spectacular for
For
the
a
60th
fireworks?
anniversary.
Oh, cool.
It was World of
Oh.
Color. And it was actually me singing a Bob Dylan song, but still, it was my
It was
voice.
you.
And then it was
Yeah.
funny enough, it was very similar where it was just like 90 seconds of the song and it was a 4-minute cover. And I went to see it and I was like, everyone's crying because they're like, we need Christina Perri's voice. We need everyone to cry right in the middle of this. It was the anniversary. So they're like, right in the middle of this spectacular. Everyone cries when they see Walt Disney and like, in black and white footage, whatever. And I was like, I'm your gal. And so I'm singing Forever Young. And when the whole thing ends, the lights come on and everyone leaves Disneyland. And they started my song from the beginning. And the whole 4 minutes they play as everyone's leaving the park every night for a year and a half. And I was
Wow.
like, oh my God. I mean, it's like Disney's my like ultimate. I'm such a Disney
Oh,
adult.
I love that.
So that was like huge bucket list for me.
yeah.
And then now, yes, I've been like so desperately wanting to like work with them. And so I'm actually like working on 3 different projects with them right now.
Amazing.
Yeah.
To do multiple songs or a song for each project?
To do
or
a
producing
whole
the
show.
Okay.
Like
Like ditties and stuff?
Yeah.
Like the little 30.
lyrics and music and lyrics for a upcoming Disney Junior show.
Uh-huh.
I also did a whole show with the guy who created Paw Patrol. That's going to come out
Oh.
first, but it's not
Oh.
Disney. So I don't know
Right.
what network it'll be
Right.
at. Maybe Nickelodeon, Amazon, their BBC maybe because they're all
Oh.
British.
Okay.
I did all the music and lyrics for that, and then I just loved it so much that's when I went to Disney and I was like, I think I can do this, like more of this. My partner Emily and I, who's in my band and my best friend, and we've been singing together for 15 years. Her and I started like a little duo, like writing group. We're submitting for all these other projects with them, but one specifically is a show potentially just for us to do.
We did a musical for Nickelodeon a couple of years ago, and we're like, we want another one of those.
It was
And
so much fun. I mean,
Yeah.
writing songs for the characters to sing, but
Oh my gosh, it's
like
the best.
such a fun process.
I had
Totally.
no idea how much I loved that until I did it. And then now it's like, I don't want to leave the kids space yet. I love it too much.
it's really fun.
Like, I really do think I'm going to do, because I have the 15-year anniversary of Jar of Hearts coming out next year.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
And then I'm up for a re-record for 1,000 Years because, like, I'm pre-Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of people
Yeah.
can't re-record their music anymore. So I definitely should.
Wait.
They made a law about that, or the
Mhm.
labels wrote it into
Labels
people's
wrote
contract
it into all their contracts
that they
after.
can't ever.
I don't know. I think it's maybe,
Oh.
but I've heard
It's
a lot.
normally 10 years,
It's normally
or it's different every
kind of
agreement.
random. I think
Yeah.
it's different every agreement.
Is that
but
widely known?
I don't know.
It used to be like 20 to 30. I feel
Yeah.
like, you know, Dreamweaver,
Oh,
like literally like Gary Wright, you called him to license his re-record.
wow.
He's passed since, but
Okay.
but
Huh.
like, so I imagine that was like
Yeah, 'cause I'm
20
like,
years before
Well,
he
I
could
wouldn't
do
even
that.
really do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even re-record 1,000 Years because, again, like, that's why I didn't do Jar of Hearts. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to mess with something that's like so
Right.
special.
Yeah.
But the reason why David Hodges and I just should is because it's still so synced. Like,
Yeah.
like, it's not like it's
Yeah.
still so streamed. Like, it makes sense for us to have a version that's ours, whether or not it,
Yeah.
you know, it
Yeah.
like replaces the other one ever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Twilight's come back
Oh,
again
yeah.
around in the
Yeah.
theaters. Like, so
Yeah.
there's been a resurgence of
Like,
all
all-
the young people, Gen
Yeah.
Z. I just went
Yeah.
out with the Jonas Brothers on stage with them because they've had special
I
guests
saw
every
that.
show.
Yeah.
And so I went out in Anaheim and literally Disneyland. I was like, because I missed their Philly show. So I was like, my second home is Disneyland. And so I did Anaheim and I walked out in my like Team Edward jacket and like the whole
Amazing.
place sang louder than anything.
Aw.
And they're all Gen Zs, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, wow. Like it's kind of cool again. Like Olivia Rodrigo's like wearing Edward Cullen
Oh, yeah.
in-ears. And like Leve has a song about Jacob and Edward on her album. And I'm just like, okay.
All
like,
the
this
20-year-olds
is-
we work with, and you know, we usually ask them like, what was the first thing for you, or what were your big influences? Because same with us, like that's how we got into what we do. And
Sure.
Twilight.
Wow.
We've been chatting away and we haven't even touched on your favorite sad songs.
Oh my God.
Do we want to get to them? Do you
Yes,
want to throw
okay.
us a couple?
Sure. So I made a list, wrote down 6 songs.
Okay, great.
I've already mentioned one, which was Mariah Carey's My All. I was thinking about what is the first song
Yeah.
that made me cry
Mm-hmm.
for fun.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
that really was like a
Oh, yes.
activity for fun for me. Like I would
Completely.
choose to sit in my bathroom and put on my little boombox a CD. And it was like Celine Dion, Mariah Carey, Selena. I'd say like late at night when all the world. That was
Oh,
probably
right.
the reason I'm a singer of that song. Like
Oh, wow.
I would sing that song till I was blue in the face and cry real tears about a person I never had fallen in love with yet. You know
Just
what I
for
mean? Like,
emotions, you felt them.
I
I
cried
felt
that I
it.
could fall in love. I
yeah,
remember.
great. I mean,
Late night folding laundry once.
yeah, I mean, legendary. So My All and
Oh.
My All and Dreaming of You were
That's a
like
good one.
probably my first favorite sad songs. And then I got into Counting Crows, and Raining in Baltimore is my go-to. So when
Oh,
I
is
am
that one of yours?
sad,
No, I'm a big August and Everything. Sullivan Street is my favorite.
yeah, it's
and
on
Anna
there.
Begins.
Yeah. Well, August and Everything After is my favorite album of all time. So when people
Yes.
ask me my number one favorite album, it's always August and Everything
It
After.
holds up too, by the way. I like went
just
back to it a
listened
couple.
about a week ago.
Yeah.
Like I still listen whenever I'm like emo or like I don't want to think because that album just makes me feel. So the
Yeah.
entire album, but Raining in Baltimore is number 10.
Yep.
Circus is falling down on its knees. I mean, something about that song just resonates. Yep.
Mhm.
That's like that one gets me no matter what. Actually, fun fact, I Instagram storied that I was listening to Raining in Baltimore and my best friend from college wrote me and said, "What's wrong?"
Oh.
Like, that is how you know I'm not well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was like, wait, raining in Baltimore? What's happening? And I was like, oh my God, only you would know that. But okay, my next one is I Will Follow You Into the Dark. So that's more college for me.
Yeah,
Like,
makes
so I
sense.
went from
Yeah.
like grade school to high school. It was raining in Baltimore. I Will Follow You Into the Dark for me is about 18, 19, 20.
Death Camp for Cutie.
Yeah. And so it goes. Billy Joel
Ooh.
is still, but like I would say my 20s, you know, I got really into Billy Joel as a
There's
songwriter.
so much space in that song. And I think that's where the sadness really comes in, right?
Yes. And obviously the lyrics.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like
He's a
phenomenal.
master.
And I love that he named his documentary that. Like, he knows. Like, he knows that the true Billy Joel fans, like, that's... Like, he actually got to see him do it at Madison Square Garden. So I opened for him twice.
You did?
Wow.
Yeah, in my hometown, Philadelphia, at the Philadelphia Phillies baseball stadium. I was wearing a custom Phillies jacket. The Phillies gave me a custom shirt, or what do they call it? Not a shirt.
Jersey.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm so bad
Jersey.
at sports.
It's okay.
But I love Philadelphia and they like me. And so that was like highlight of my life, honestly. My whole family
Did you
was
even
there.
like keep it together when you met him?
No, he came in my dressing room and
Yeah.
sat with me and my
I
mom and my
don't
dad and my
even-
family, my cousins, my aunts and uncles. I mean, I had like 45 people there. And he sat with us for like a whole hour and talked about Italy and music. And I mean, it was a dream. But I had been a fan of Billy Joel my whole life. And I'd seen him at Madison Square Garden. And that was one of the nights he played. And so it goes, because it wasn't on his set list every night. He had this like wild card song that he would do, and he would ask the audience, and however loud you were, like that's. And so anyway, I just love that I saw him in real life, like sing that song live.
That's special.
Okay, my last two are "Love Is a Losing Game," Amy Winehouse.
Oh, yeah.
We were just talking about her last night at dinner.
Wow.
Just how that she was never set up to win.
No.
Yeah.
And that song, if I have to, this was so quick. I made this list like because like I have access so fast to like the dark, sad corners of my heart. But like Love Is a Losing Game always hit me so hard because it's not everybody knows it. And I'm just like, how do you not listen to this and weep? You know what I mean? Like, so like I find those on every album. Like I literally will listen to and skip through all the, like the tempo.
You are our people.
Yeah. And I just go straight to like 10. It's normally 10, 9.
Yeah, or 11.
Or
last
11.
song.
Last song, yes.
Every once in a while, maybe a 3.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
5
Yeah.
people like to say.
I think
Yeah.
Evergone is 3. I was
Oh.
like, because it's a single.
You're right.
So your singles are around 3 and 4 and 5.
Is that really true? Is that okay?
But 2 sometimes, no?
Sometimes 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I always wondered that.
It
but,
depends how many singles.
Yeah.
And then my last one is Fix You.
Yeah.
I just think that's maybe one of, if not the like greatest song of all time, like written song of all time. Chris Martin's my top now, like even as
I love him
songwriters
too.
who are still alive. So those are my 6 favorites. I could probably make a list of 100. but-
Bravo.
we love it.
Yeah. I actually also really appreciated, I knew every single one.
Oh, good.
I know.
Whereas I don't always. I'm usually like,
Yeah.
But I do love that too, because you always discover new things.
Totally.
Sure.
Yeah.
We put all these on a Spotify playlist so that people can,
cool.
because it's like, I love finding
Yeah.
new ones. And so I was re-listening to it and I was like, oh, I never knew this song. Oh, this is cool.
Oh,
like,
nice.
yeah.
Okay, I got to listen. I got to
Yeah,
join
it's great.
I got to download the playlist.
Yeah, because
Follow us on Spotify.
yeah, it's interesting
Yeah.
to see the like, I don't know that we've had any Billy Joel, but Billy Joel's so, I think, for us.
Yeah.
But
Also, Good Night,
Yeah.
My Angel. I covered that
Oh, my
on
God.
Songs for Rosie.
Yeah. Oh,
Hey,
God.
If you want to cry, I'm just
which is the one
saying.
that Carmela sings on?
She sings on Somewhere Out There with me.
From
Yep.
Fievel?
Yep. Fievel was my favorite movie when I was a
Oh,
baby.
it's
That's
such a
probably
good
my
movie.
first favorite song. If you ask my mom,
That makes sense.
there's a video of me, a beta. Like this is like probably I'm 3, so it's probably 1989.
An American Tale.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, Fievel is the main character. I was like, that's not the.
Well, yeah, I know it is
Yes.
Fievel too.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
American Tail. You're
Totally.
right. But that really, I would have to say, is my first favorite song of all time. Linda
Love that.
Ronstadt and what's his
Oh,
name?
right. I want to say Peebo Bryson just
It
because he
is.
was on everything.
It is,
But, okay.
Yeah.
So curious if you have any idea what kind of playlists your music is on Spotify, because we've had some interesting revelations and we're hoping that maybe you have music on really interesting titled playlists.
Yes. Okay. So if I look it up, some of them, let's see, Warm Fuzzy Feeling,
Oh.
Sad Songs to Cry Out to,
Yes.
I mean,
obviously.
Yeah.
Avi.
Belting Songs,
okay.
in all caps, Alone Again,
Oh.
Sad Songs, Classics for Crying,
Yes.
Great.
Sad Songs for the Boys,
Okay.
and Life Sucks.
Oh my God. Love it.
All
there you go.
alternate titles for this podcast.
I know. You are
awesome.
officially a sad song queen based on those playlists.
Thank you so much. Thank
The
you. It's an
belting
honor.
I really relate to. Jar of Hearts is a belting song.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you are a good belter.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
I applaud your belting abilities.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much
so
for having
good
me.
to
This
meet
was
you.
so
Great
fun.
chat.
Yay.
Love it.
Thank you for joining us today on Sad Song Queens, because you always need a good cry. We will link these songs on our show page, as well as on our Spotify playlist. Please also be sure to comment, like, and subscribe wherever you find podcasts. It helps us a lot.
Huge thanks to Christina Perri, Jennifer DeSilvio, Jason Bell, and Jordan Miller. Our friends at Cobalt Music Publishing, Artist House, Warner Music Group, Dana Salant, and Kat Basolo. Thank you to Rob Seals and the Songwriting School of Los Angeles for letting us record live in their studio today. Special production thanks to Rob Seals, Miles Bergsma, Stephanie Gangle, Avery Piantadozzi, Rob Carter, Jordan Lindsley, and our producer May Rogers. Our theme song is All My Favorite Songs by Weezer, and our outro music is by Wyatt Rouse.